First meeting of the Sconset Advisory Board. As a preliminary matter, this is Rob Benchley. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Caroline Ellis. Thank you. Mary Lathrop Will.
Here.
Angus McLeod.
Here.
Clement Turkeys.
Here.
And Rob Benchley. Good morning. This open meeting of the Sconset Advisory Board is being conducted remotely, consistent with the Governor Baker's executive order March 12, 2020, due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of COVID-19 virus. In order to mitigate the transmission of the virus, we have been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings, and as such, Governor's order suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of public bodies are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order, which you can find posted with the agenda and materials for this meeting, allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely so long as reasonable public access is afforded so the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will feature public comment. For this meeting, the SAB is convening by video conference via the Zoom app is posted on the town's website, identifying how the public may join. Please note that this meeting is being recorded and that all attendees are participating by video conference. As such, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you and to take care not to screen share your computer. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording. All supporting materials that have been provided members of this body are available on the town's website unless otherwise noted. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda unless I note otherwise. Now that we're turning to the first item of the agenda, before we do so, permit me to cover some ground rules for the effective and clear conduct of our business and ensure accurate meeting minutes. I will introduce each speaker on the agenda. After they conclude their remarks, I will go down the list of line of members, inviting each by name to provide any comment, questions, or motions. Please hold until your name is called. Please remember to mute your phone or computer when you're not speaking. Please remember to speak clearly and in a way that helps generate accurate minutes. For any response, please wait until the chair yields the floor to you and state your name before speaking. If members wish to engage in conversation with other members, please do so through the chair, taking care to identify yourself. After members have spoken, the chair will afford public comment to those members of the public that have joined the meeting via Zoom. Members of the public who wish to speak must state their names and be acknowledged and speak through the chair. And each vote taken during this meeting will be conducted by roll call vote. And with that in mind, the chair makes a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
Second.
Thank you. And I'll take a roll call on that. Caroline Ellis. Yeah.
Yes, I muted.
Oh, okay.
It told me to.
Sometimes that's advisable. Mary Lathrop Will.
Yeah.
Thank you. Angus McLeod.
Aye.
Clement Turkeys.
Yes.
Rob Benchley, aye. The motion has been made, seconded, and it's unanimous. We're moving on to, oh, this is an old agenda. The first order of business, which is, thank you.
Mr. Chair, it's actually a new business agenda.
Oh, it is. Thank you.
Yes, it's just mislabeled. Apologies.
I seem to have lost all the paper, all the links that Kadeem sent me. I've lost, but I had printed them out. But anyway, so I'm going to be a little winging it here. Is this?
It came from Kathy.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
That's why I lost it too.
Okay. Thank you.
Lots of applications this week.
Yes, we do.
15. Ooh.
Hedgerow. Oh, yeah.
Chair, can I make a motion to take the next application first? I believe he's waiting.
Okay. Absolutely.
Cottage.
Is that Cottage Ave?
Yes, 8 Cottage Ave.
Okay, good.
Oh, and that's for the fence.
Yep.
Yeah. And this is, hi, it's Rob speaking. This is basically to replace or unify what's already there.
If it was a replacement, it wouldn't have to go before the commission. So
Tom, are you there? Do you have any comments?
Yes, I am. Thank you. Thank you for asking. Yes, this would be a new fence.
I'm sorry.
Currently, there are hedges along both lines of the property. We'd like to build a fence to create more privacy and sound barrier.
You're right behind and next to the summer house, correct?
Yes, that's correct. Thank you.
So that's right
Seems reasonable to me.
here. So it looks like it would be down this property line and this property line? And that property line? Oh, just the two property lines, okay.
Yeah,
Well, the
on
other
east-
property lines are on the streets, the two streets. So my question is, you can build a fence directly on a property line, is that correct? I'm sorry, this is speaking. You can build on your property line, yes?
Yes, I mean, essentially you share that property line with your neighbor. From a planning perspective, I wouldn't necessarily put it on your property line because you don't own the property line, you and your neighbors do jointly. So that would be something that you would want to make sure everybody's in agreements on, but essentially you
So
could.
you can go essentially an inch off the property line?
There's no setbacks off the property lines if that's what you're asking.
Thank you, that's my question.
You're quite welcome.
How does this affect the path that's shown on the south lot line?
No, that's a good question for the owner.
Okay, so I'm sorry. I'm not sure what you mean by path.
There's a path that's shown. It looks like, or maybe it's something else, but it looks, maybe it's I'm not sure what what that is, but
That is a staircase that leads into the second floor of the summer house for their dormitory housing. There is an easement that allows them to repair, maintain, or replace the stairs that cross over our property line.
Tom, I'm sorry, did you say that goes from the second to the third floor?
It goes from the ground level to the second floor to where the employee dorm housing is.
So how does that work with the fence there?
We would propose to bring the fence about halfway through there where it says fence to break at stair. And then probably to pick it up under that first landing again and bring it back to the end of the property line. and leave some clearance space in between the fence and the stairs so that they could repair, maintain, or replace the stairs as the easement calls for.
Tom, would it make sense to follow the perimeter of the stairs so you have an unbroken fence?
I suppose we could.
I'm just thinking that the railing to the stair is probably going to be like a 2-rail thing or balusters, but my guess is that the fence is really a solid screen for privacy and noise, and if you've got a break in it, I'm not sure how effective it's going to be.
Yeah, it kind of, eventually it raises up above the height of the fence because the height of the stairs go up. So right under the word if you can see it on your drawing there where it says fence to break at stair, right under the word fence, that's kind of the newel post, or whatever you would call the post at the bottom of the stairs. I think
Right.
we probably bring the fence up to that point. Then there is there's some board screening of the side of the stairs there. And then when there's sufficient height, we'd pick it up again, probably under that landing to go, straight back and complete it along the property line. So it would actually continue underneath a portion, that second riser of this rising of the stairs, set of risers.
Got you. I don't, Chair, I don't have any issues with the fence. I was thinking about a fence cap, but that might just be too, it might be too fancy there. I don't know. It might lend itself better to just be uncapped. I don't know.
We've got a quote from it's Nantucket Fencing Company, and I think that the picture that's in your materials shows it is a lot more simple than what we would propose. We would propose to have caps on each of the posts, a board that runs along the top and the bottom of the fence, and then caps on top of each of the posts. That's what the fence builder quoted.
I think it would behoove you to show exactly what you're going to put up, because I probably, like the rest of the board, assume that the fence would look exactly like this fence, which is just a 1x6 plank fence with a gap. With what you're describing, I'd be happy to see a cap, but I think it's overdone to cap the posts.
Yeah, unfortunately, this was submitted before we got the quote in, where they told us exactly what they were planning to do. But yeah, if you mean by a cap, it's a horizontal board at the top of the fence and at the bottom of the fence. Is that what you mean by a cap? Yeah, that's in what he has quoted, and as I said, some decorative tops for each of the tops of the posts.
That top picture there that shows the white picket fence beside the fence, that's on the screen now.
Mm-hmm.
The cap that I'm referring to is what is on top of that white fence. It's just it just covers the top of the fence boards. So it's not a rail, it's just a cap.
Mm-hmm.
Holly, can you highlight that on the gate?
Yep. Do you want a newel cap?
Oh, I'm just pointing out what I'm talking about on top of the gate is just a decorative cap over the fence.
It's Rob here. Angus is talking about the gate, the white gate in the photo,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yep, that photo, that one there. Yep, that's a very standard item at the lumber yard, and you see it all over the village. That's correct, Angus?
So Tom, it would be like that picture with the white gate. The fence would be, and then there would be a cap on it, but see how the posts don't go all the way to the top?
Right.
So there wouldn't be caps on the posts themselves. That would just be
Mhm.
a rail on top of the boards.
Right.
How's that sound?
That sounds good. I'm trying to find, as we're talking here, I'm looking for what he wrote in his quote. It had some kind of a cap, but I don't know if it was a milled piece of wood. I'm guessing what's on top of this picture is something that's been milled. But certainly we can do something like that.
And I believe this application is not before the HDC this evening. Am I correct? I don't see you on the agenda.
I think we're about the 22nd item on the list tonight after the old business. So it's pretty, I believe.
Oh, yep, you are.
pretty deep into the agenda.
Yes, you are. I would recommend, if possible, and this obviously it's not going to help Sconset Advisory, but their comments would be, mention that. I would provide, if you can, some sort of photographs of what this existing stair looks like, if you can, and email that to me so I can show that to the commission this evening, if we get to your part of the
Okay.
agenda.
Photograph of stairs.
And I'm Holly Backus.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
And your contact information's in the meeting materials?
hbackus@nantucket-ma.gov. BACKUS. Yes, sir. Just because since you are on this evening, that I think that would be beneficial. Also, to the advisory board's comments about the fence, this obviously isn't what you're really wanting. So that should be clarified. And I don't see a detail. Usually there's an actual drawn detail. Yeah, I don't see that. Of a proposed fence showing the elevation and details and all that
Yeah.
stuff too. That would be beneficial if you get that from your company too.
Okay, I'll get to work on that.
This is Caroline. Could I ask a question? Rob, could I ask a question?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Sorry.
Sorry. Oh, it says plantings to screen fence within the yard?
Yes, that would be within the yard.
Okay. So are you putting back the dread hedge?
Well, actually, there is hedging there, so we may just build the fence on the outside of the hedging. It's well inside our property line.
Okay, any other comments? This is Rob. Yeah, I would call this a defensive fence.
Or
I would say
defense-
this
defense,
is a good place for a fence.
Yes,
To defend and beautify.
to defend and beautify. Perfect. Okay, then, Holly, I guess we have the right direction on this one, and
We have no concerns, is our,
we have no concerns. Thank you.
Provided there's a cap, right?
provided there's a
Yeah.
cap.
Right.
Provided there's a gap.
Okay, well,
Right.
thank you very much, and thanks for moving me up in the agenda. Much appreciated.
You're very welcome. Thanks for being here, and thank you, Angus, for moving it up.
Terrific. So I will drop off. Thank you.
bye, Tom.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks.
Okay, so we'll go back to our first item, which is, it says 7 Head Road on the agenda, but I believe it's Head Row.
Yeah,
And this is a revision for windows and some roof changes. There we go.
Simple enough.
It's Rob. I thought I had gone over, I remember going over the drawings, but this is an existing house?
Yeah, it's the old Braylauer house.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Thank you. And the original application was,
We looked at it this winter, I believe.
yeah. Okay. Thank you.
We're looking at the cottage, I'm thinking. Is this the, yeah, proposed? Yeah. I think this is the second building on the property,
I
which
believe
is
so.
considerably larger than the original one. We talked about that at the time, but is this a different applicant this time around? Do we have a different owner?
I can only go by the agent. I don't know who the owner is without looking at the property line. This is Rothke.
Oh, okay. So it is the Molinas. Okay. I thought I had a different name on it on the agenda, but that's all right. I don't have a problem with the stoop or anything. That's fine.
So they've relocated. You can see where it used to be. They're wanting to move it back into this corner.
Yeah, away from their pool.
I don't see anything that stands out. This is Rob.
Wasn't the application for window changes too, fenestration changes? I didn't see those.
Yes, fenestration changes and pent roof on that front elevation over the door.
Chair, this is Angus. I just have a concern about the windows. It looks like they're over the kitchen counter or something. It looks like they're single pane sliders.
Yeah, ew.
I'm not sure how visible they are, but that's extremely atypical.
Mm-hmm.
This is Clement. I don't understand what that drawing even means. Are those sliding glass doors? They go all the way to the bottom.
This would be in the east elevation.
Is that what we're looking at now?
No, that's the north.
Here.
Oh, yeah. Actually, are they? Oh, yeah, they are saying revised fenestration there.
Mm-hmm.
Holly, do we know what was there before?
Let's see what's in the packet. They should provide both. I think that's what they normally do at the end of the application.
It looks like a takeout window.
Yeah.
No,
Maybe it is.
there's a little bracketed shelf outside the window when you look at the perspective view from the south.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, it is a takeout window. Is that facing the pool?
Must be so the grandchildren don't track in through the house when they come in for their lunch.
Maybe a bar.
Ugh.
Good eyes, Angus.
Well, actually, wait, the pool side wouldn't be facing east in that location. East would be towards the ocean. Oh, yeah, actually it is. That is on the kind of pool side for them.
So this was the previous approval.
Oh, man.
Wait, where's previous? Previous is, oh, they were They were sliders.
Sliders.
They were full size.
And then they went from these to,
Maybe, I don't know how the single light sliders got approved. I didn't think that that was approvable, maybe because of lack of visibility. But both the sliding doors and windows bother me that they're just, you know, one big plate of glass.
Agreed.
I think the doors are a ship that's already sailed, but the windows look like they're still up for discussion.
Yeah, so let's just say it. No single pane windows on the east facade. Don't like that change.
got it.
Okay. Rob here, are we, thanks. I finally found my documents, which went into the spam folder somehow. Anyway, yeah, since the ship has sailed on those doors, but I think the SAB would like to not have sliding drive-in window doors, windows on them.
Right.
All right. Oh, somebody said but.
But, well, Caroline, they have a shelf and bar stools. So I don't know what other kind of window they could have. If that's
Oh,
the,
I see.
do you see what I mean on the top drawing? You can see little scallops of bar stools. I just don't know what other kind of window would work.
Awnings would assure social distancing.
Oh, God.
No, my concern is the single paneness, not the function of how they work.
Okay, well then maybe that's what we should say. Should we suggest a multi-pane slider? You want to guide you to what you want?
Whatever light configuration would work with that, whether it's a 9 light or a 12 light or 4 light, something that would work with the other windows. Maybe 8 lights, 2 lights wide and 4 lights high, or 3 lights high, however the proportions work out.
Well, they've got 6/6s on the window above.
These are kind of 2/3 the width of that, so it might work
Right.
well to have 2 lights wide instead of 3 lights wide.
Good.
I think that's a good suggestion, Angus, myself.
So 4/4s. I mean, it'll look like that. It'll be what? It'll be 2 by 4, right?
2/2, right?
It would be an 8 light casement, 2 lights wide, 4 lights high.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but not a casement, a slider.
Right.
Hi, it's Rob here. I think that yeah, those are great suggestions, and Holly, let's note that, please. And I'm also going to make a note that I mean, I've got all this stuff on my computer that the applicants have submitted, and it takes forever for these images to load on the screen. And I'm just wondering, this is a bit of an aside, but I'm wondering if there's a way for them to technically flatten those PDFs before they post them. Angus, is that something that can happen? Can you flatten a PDF? Because they've got a ton of layers on them and it takes 30 seconds for them to load.
Possible. All I can say is, you know, we receive them the way the applicants provide them, and you know, we're lucky we get what we need for you all to look at and for staff to look at and the commission.
Okay.
So,
All right.
but
Okay.
I understand completely, because they're going. It looks like they're going directly from their software program instead of. Yeah. I know what you mean.
It just takes them forever to load on my computer. Okay, so should we move on to 12 Lincoln?
Sounds good.
Everybody okay with that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Had to remember that there was a 12 Lincoln or a Lincoln out in Sconset.
Yeah. Minor window and door changes. They want to paint the chimney white. Remove a shingle railing on the back deck, outdoor shower, and extend front porch to end of building. God.
All right, we'll take each elevation at a time. All right. Move shower over here. Move Bilco. Change slider to French. What y'all think about the south elevation?
Looking.
Fine.
Yeah, I appreciate the sliders turning to French.
Yeah.
I think it looks better without the shingled railing too.
I'm just trying to picture what of this is visible.
Not
Right.
I think none of it.
None of it, yeah. Looks nice.
It might just be visible from their son's house next door. That's probably the only thing.
Is that Sunset Ridge in the back?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, I think it's all good, and and since it's not visible anyway, I don't mind the white chimney.
No, not at all.
Now, it does look like an improvement.
Yeah. So no concerns?
No concerns.
No concerns.
All right, thank you, board.
I just have one question before we close it.
Okay.
It said remove front door or move front door. What is the front? And is it really not going to have a door?
Like the east elevation is the front. So let's see. Maybe not.
I would have said the west was. That would make more sense. Oh, wait, that's the move front door to this side. Yeah, that's where the front door is going, in the west side, which is the front door will then be on Sunset Ridge as
Which-
opposed to Lincoln.
That sounds good. I don't have any concerns.
Okay, great.
All right.
Moving on.
Six Sanctity.
Oh, this is the Goldstein House. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they did. Nice.
God, it's frustrating.
They've added a bay here. Move the window. I think that's in keeping with what you all saw last with their changes.
Yeah.
Was now going to have a different roof?
I think that was on the back side.
I think on the south elevation, we had suggested doing a hip roof for where that gable is, just because nearly all the subordinate roofs are hips.
Right.
I don't know if they forgot to try it or tried it and it didn't work, but
It was
Wait.
discussed with the commission.
how was the review?
It was good, but what they finally approved, don't ask me, that was a while ago. Sorry. I can't remember them all. But no, it was discussed, and Lisa even brought that up too during the discussion.
Any concerns?
I don't have any, but they're my neighbors.
Oh, right. Well, I guess I don't hear anything from anybody, including myself. So I guess Holly, that would be no concerns on this change.
My only concern is that the bay feels like it's so close to the end of the building. It's just, I mean, I think it's better than there just being a return and it being all the way at the end. It'd be nice to scoot it over some, but it's all centered on the back French door, so you wouldn't want to screw with that. No, I guess I don't have an issue.
I can notate that if you want me to, Angus. Just let me know.
I don't know what they would do to make it better, except maybe to make it smaller, narrower. So it could still be centered in the room, but just give a little bit more room on the corner. But that corner's, you can't see it from the road or anything. So if it works better for them.
Yeah. Very nice.
Yay.
Lucky them.
31 Shell. here. Steps and hardscaping.
31 shell, there it is.
Yeah, they're already putting that hedge in. It looks good.
It's so close to the road.
It's too close to the road.
It is. It is
It's
so
much-
close.
Very
There's
dangerous.
that corner is so close already. There'll be no place to jump in the bushes when the cars come around the corner, but
Go over the yellow line, I do believe. It's just too close. I think it's really bad.
Well, the thing is, they've got to have a car park somewhere, right? And it looks like this is the most logical place. It's farther from the curve than the previous car park. And it's right
True.
by the turn for Wade Cottages.
It is a problem, Mary, though, of the car. The problem is with the hedge.
Oh, sorry.
Well, from my point of view, that's what I think is that the hedge has been placed so close to the side of the road that as it expands and grows, it's going to go out onto the road.
Good point.
Be more dangerous for a car exiting that property. I don't even know why you need a hedge there, quite frankly, but anyway.
Privacy.
They need to move. Well, there is no privacy with a hedge. It's just noise. But it needs to be moved in. It's just terrible.
I just walked that street, and it's almost as if they had to jackhammer some of the street to fit that hedge in.
Exactly.
It is. Yeah, see, there's the old hedge.
There was grass.
And there was grass. There's nothing now. The new hedge comes right out to where that sand path is.
Really?
Right.
And
Okay.
I don't think any fire engine or anything can get through there.
Well,
And there's
fire
certainly
go.
no. Well, I'm just thinking of safety. I mean, when you walk,
Very
that-
dangerous.
yeah, exactly.
Hi, it's Rob here. This is kind of a critical corner, and we all know what it's been like since they started the construction there. And I think because it is such a critical corner, it would be nice if they would submit photographs as it is now, along with these of what it was, because it really is a traffic issue, and I appreciate the fact that their property line goes right down to the street. However, that's a very congested place, and I realize that we're not the traffic safety committee, but it's a free country and we can say what we want so far. But anyway, it would be nice. Yeah, I mean, it's probably not a huge application, but it would be great if they could submit photographs as they are, so people like us and the commission itself could make an educated decision based on the way it is now, because those are old photographs, as we know. And I realize that yep, okay, well, there's that. And you can see it goes right down to the street. And it's pretty congested as it is. I don't know if that's even in our purview, but I guess it looks okay, but they're creating an additional hazard, and I will put a footnote on it as far as the parking goes. This is why the town should have never sold that lot adjoining this building, because it was parking. And it has some nice street.
The Hakes lot. No, yeah, behind number 5.
Yeah.
Correct.
So does anyone have an issue with the parking or the gate?
Yes.
Okay. I was just hearing about the planting.
Yeah, I think the parking is dangerous.
Well, it forces you to back out if you're going to pull in. Otherwise, you have to do a 3-point and just back into your spot, which I guess is the safest thing. It's a precarious corner just driving on, let alone pulling in and out of.
Well, it's not very pretty either to be walking by there and see the parking area. But they obviously need somewhere to park. They used to be parking where the gate and the arbor and all that is. I just walked by there. If they couldn't, they have to move the hedges. We have to have at least 6 inches or something to get by, because Caroline is right. The hedges are going to get big. Right now, they're just scrawny little, sticks. They're going to get bigger and they're going to encroach on the road.
It's a suggestion to have parallel parking alongside the street is what you all think, instead of hedge and path?
I agree with Angus. Mary here. Yeah, I think they've got to go with parallel parking and screw the hedging that they've already put in. That's in the wrong place. I mean, they're just going to have to go with parallel by the side of their house.
Nothing has changed about this property since it was purchased. In other words, it was always this size. So I think there's a better solution than has been proposed.
Yeah.
A safer.
Holly, were you about to say something?
I'm sorry.
Yes, sorry. No, I wanted to ask, so all the vegetation that they're showing on here has been planted?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, not all of it.
Not all of it, but a lot of it on the front?
Where it says new beech tree or birch tree or whatever that is, that's not planted.
Okay.
But the gate and the arbor are not in place, but all those little hedges are planted. And they've cleared where they say is going to be the parking area.
Okay. I just want to notate from a zoning perspective, that parking that's indicated is too big. So that doesn't even meet zoning. Just want to throw that out there. I always let the HDC know, even though that's not in their purview, that the applicant's going to have to make sure that meets the zoning requirements. So
What do you mean by big, Holly? I don't understand.
the width, see how it actually goes, it's actually farther than 18 feet from here to here, because if you look from here to here, it's about probably what, another 3 feet there, maybe 21 feet.
Yeah.
To me, it doesn't look like it conforms to 139-20.1, the zoning bylaw. So
Which
they would
is
have to
how big
confirm
a
that.
parking area then, Holly? What's the zoning allowed for?
It depends on the zoning of some residential areas. It typically goes to 19 feet where the flare is.
Mhm.
Now, here's another thing. We're dealing with an existing Shell Street is Shell, correct?
Yes.
No.
It's not.
No,
it's paved.
It's paved.
Sorry,
It's
it's paved. Okay.
Yeah, it's paved.
So when you have a driveway against a paved street, and that you have to have an apron, it's existing shell right now, but they're proposing, the way I read this entire parking area to be Belgian block.
15 by 8, right?
That's a lot of Belgian block.
Yes, it is.
So that's just something another thing to think about outside of a zoning perspective.
Can it also
Aesthetics.
only be 15 feet deep? I mean, aren't most cars 16, 17, 18 feet?
Usually head in are a little bit, what's that say on there? 15 feet is about average, I'd say, for head in parking spaces. This looks like it's going to be almost 2. I mean, it's very unclear for me to see what this is proposing. I was trying to see if there's anything else on here.
Bike and a car, I think
Maybe a bike here, but they're definitely head in parking spaces perpendicular with the road, not parallel.
Yeah.
So if we're proposing parallel would create maybe just one parking space. I don't see how you could do 2 parallel parking spaces.
As far as the Belgian block, what's in front of, like across the street? Is that a Belgian block apron at Belichick's and the Petite Cottage?
Yeah, yes.
Does it go very deep? Is it like 6 feet deep? I'm just thinking that I'm hearing Holly's concern about the extent of the block, and it almost looked, depending on how much you use, if you do a 6 or 8 foot apron, then it might just look like 2 stripes, one of shell and one of Belgian block.
And that might be why they're proposing it, because the apron has to be 10 feet deep, is what the bylaw says.
5 feet of shell. That'd be silly.
So, and it's shell right now, so that's probably, yeah. And when you modify, so basically, if you're not going to mess with the driveway, you're fine. You're technically grandfathered if you don't have an apron already. But once you modify the site,
There's no driveway now there, Holly.
oh, there
It's
isn't?
just dirt. No, it used to be the front yard. The driveway was where this arbor and the hedges are. So
Okay, so these photographs are
yeah,
not.
there's the driveway. It used to be. It's really a parking area. It was
Right.
at the end of as you see, it's at the end of the house, which would be the south end. They are proposing a north end parking area.
Okay. Yeah, so this, if they weren't going to mess with this, it'd be fine. It would be the fact that they have no apron. Now that they're wanting to reconfigure, they have to have an apron per the bylaw. So, and that's, I'm just assuming.
Yeah, the Hakes gave them a place for Susie to park on the south side. And then once Susie had died, then it was just pushed back. But there never really was any parking on that property.
Well, the house grew, right, by 4 feet or something?
Mm-hmm.
And the house grew, yes.
So I would propose, if possible, doing it parallel and doing it, no matter what. It sounds like any sort of transition that would be achieved in an apron would be covering such a significant portion of it that it might make sense for it all to be the same material. But I would suggest that it would be cobblestone instead of Belgian block, so that it would be a little more, less formal, since there's so much of it.
And it could go forward because the tree hasn't been planted, right? They're proposing a birch tree. You could put your car if you did it perpendicular to the road.
Oh, going in deeper.
Right, just go forward.
Well, of course, they're trying to have some yard there.
Not our problem.
I understand.
I just think that they're trying to do too many things with a small lot. And you could still make it charming.
It is charming. Their improvements have been wonderful. But you can see where they've got the stone steps, they've got the hedgerow on the right side of what we're looking at now. This little portion is a little porch that they added.
Right.
That's now the front door. So they added that porch, which narrows that space, which if you want to do stone steps and a hedge, you're really tight to the Shell Street, which once again is not our problem. But that's why they've got it laid out like that. I understand why they have it laid out like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you can also do those parking areas. I'm looking out my window, and over at Barnegan, they have the Belgian blocks for where your tires go, and then it's grass in the middle.
Right.
So that's more attractive than just a solid Belgian block. Or maybe by doing it in this strange shape, they're hoping that they can actually do a turnaround, sort of. I mean, it won't be just strictly pull in.
Well, it may be parallel parking,
Oh, yeah, it might be.
It could be the T part from when you pull in and then you're backing out. Sometimes you can do a T or an L, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Might be what they're doing. What are your comments on as far as the other aspects, the gate and the stone steps? And I guess a slab for a shower.
Do we see the stone steps or do we? No.
See, let's check this
Well,
out.
they're just on the
I'm
ground.
kind of concerned with them wanting privacy, but our concern is the encroachment on the road.
Right.
The hedges that might start out as 3 feet easily get to be 6 and 8 feet. I would suggest that the stepping stones go alongside the house and that the hedge can go where the stepping stones are.
Mm-hmm.
I would also offer, this is Mary, and I would offer that hedging is something we would like to discourage because A, it will grow, B, it will require landscapers, and to have more landscapers parking where there's a yellow line anyway, which they do, they just park there all the time. It's just not a good plan. So if anything, just go with native grasses or something. That they make a wonderful hedge in the summer. And they don't take up the same space and they don't require the same amount of landscaping.
That's what I mean. Hedges are noisy because once you plant them, it brings on all the machines.
Right.
But that's not, I don't care. I just don't want them where they are. And I think the suggestion to eliminate the steps and put the hedge there is great. It gives them privacy. Get rid of the steps, walk along the side of the road.
Yeah, this is Rob. It feels like they're inhaling so much, they're expanding out beyond the space that they have. Because it's going to go beyond their property line as the hedge grows, as, you know, plantings and little flower bed on the street side of the hedge and all that kind of stuff. And it's a terrible corner. And I appreciate the fact that, you know, they've got the property line and you're allowed to do what you can do, but that lot was a problem when they bought it. So I think that they could be, it would be nice if they would be neighborly and reconsider this entire layout because it just feels too compressed. Too much in one limited space. And,
Well, I serious worry about the safety.
yeah,
I do
well,
have
me too.
heads right
And
there. I mean,
that's really where I'm going. Thank you.
yeah. No, that's the main issue.
Issues on the type of fence and the gate that was proposed, the arbor?
No.
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 No, we got a lot of cannonberries here.
Oh, yeah.
30.
Mary's moved inside.
I had to, my computer shut down because it got too hot. Then I had to stick it in the freezer. So I was offline for a lot of this discussion.
Oh dear.
How funny.
Yeah, funny.
The things we do, right? All right, you all remember Cannonberry?
Oh,
Very
yeah.
well.
You
That's
knew it wasn't gonna stay vacant forever, right?
Yeah, we hoped it would just go away.
What are we going to?
No.
Fleet Wing Circle?
This is 30 Canterbury, which I didn't realize these are black and white. That's not fun. So this is for a new dwelling. Why are we not getting to a new dwelling here? Okay, lot 30. Bayberry, yes. All right, here's your site plan.
And Holly, this is Rob. I have a question that you may know the answer to, and it applies to all of the Cannonberry applications, these and also the ones that we're going to get. When they were proposing, or does anybody else know the answer, when they were proposing their little beach club there, or their community pool thing, did that go through? Because
No, No,
It-
the neighbors were all up in arms against the community pools. So now
Right.
every one of these houses has a new pool.
Well,
They have a-
they are allowed to have it, but they were allowed to have a pool before all of this came up.
Exactly.
Correct.
Each property was allowed to have a pool. The developers thought it would be in their best interest and they could sell the remaining lots more quickly if they had an amenities location. And they do have
Correct.
something, yeah, they do have something now that's kind of two little buildings linked by a breezeway,
It's
not
a
these.
library, yeah, library and a yoga room is the amenity package. That's the new amenity package. But the old amenity package was the pool, and the idea was, oh, it's going to be too much of an attractive nuisance. It's going to be too much noise and everything else. Well, instead, we're going to get 57 new pools.
Yep.
And that's how much landscaping and pool maintenance and all the trucks down there that you're going to need for each and every one of these pools. You know, bite your nose, spite your face.
Okay, so thank you for that. So my question's been answered. No on the club, the club pool. Okay, but they do have sand dunes in there now, so let's
Yeah.
remember that. That's an amenity too,
Yep.
with beach grass.
Yep.
Okay, so this is a new dwelling, and
Where is lot 30, please?
In
On
the
the street.
first black and white picture, it shows it in the very top northeast corner, but then you scroll down and it shows it more centrally located. So it's a little deceptive.
Can't read the numbers.
Yeah, I can't either. It's lot 30. I will agree, this is a really crappy, I'll say it, crappy version to try to review digitally.
Yeah, no kidding.
So,
Do you all have this picture?
yes, it's
Do you see 30 is like up at the very top here?
So down by Westerwick Circle?
But then in the lower parts, it doesn't. Like the lot that they're showing. See at the end of the circle there?
Is everything on its side?
yes.
Okay, I thought it was me. I can't even read it.
I can't either.
I don't know how you can make a decision if you can't read it.
do they
And-
give us a
and-
locus map?
And the plot plan of the whole thing is upside down. So
Yeah, it's
the
not-
writing is upside down.
Yeah, my plot plan's illegible.
I don't even see a regular locus from our GIS in here.
Yeah.
Am I missing that? Yeah, it's not there.
And then this plan shows it more towards the, the ocean side.
Well, 30 at Canterbury.
The house itself looks okay. I think.
Suburban.
I don't see a pool application.
No, this one seems to just have a house and it says a future garage. And also, I just looked on the GIS. The lot is centrally located, so almost diagonally across from Reaper Circle,
Okay.
on the left-hand side as you're going in. So basically, this direction's facing.
Oh, is that a pool out back? Place for
No,
a future
future.
pool? Yeah.
Yep,
Oh,
and a future cabana.
quaint.
Well, I'm sorry, can you go back, Holly?
Oh, yep.
So that solid gray line, is that Cannonberry?
This is Cannonberry right here.
Oh, that's Cannonberry. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's a lot line for some reason.
That's a lot line.
So any concerns on the architecture?
Is the front door glass or is it?
There's side lights.
Side lights, yeah.
I know, but remember we were talking about it all looks like the suburbs. I mean,
It sure does.
so did they do
Yeah.
an interesting door or no? Because it looks like the lower panels are smaller and I don't know how you say that, Angus, but there are bigger portions on the top.
That's
So would
odd.
that be,
It looks like a 4-light door,
that's what I mean. I know.
but
I don't know.
why is it? It's like it's glitched out. Like the whole picture's not there. What's up with that?
No
I don't
idea.
know. A stutter. And it's under a porch. And there's the little window, I'm sure, for the bathroom. Always the way it was.
Is all this shaded stuff mean that it's shingled?
Looks like the lawn is shingled too. Just a new thing.
Yeah, or is that the
Basement.
basement?
Basement. It says basement.
Oh yeah, basement. This is Rob. We've, as I recall, we've been fairly consistent, especially over on hydrangea, about side lights and two formal doors. And I think we're looking at one here. Would we like to see something that's got maybe no side lights and a 2-pane or a 4-pane door? Or
Yes.
I realized that this whole street is taking on its own character, and it's not a thoroughfare and everything, but do we want to ask them to ditch the side lights, just the suburbia part of it? Or are we gonna, just let it slide? I don't know.
It's a weird dwelling. It's like a farmhouse look, but you've got the wrong side of the farmhouse turned towards the street.
Yeah.
Well, the
So
east
that-
elevation, it says it's the front, but I mean, east
Yeah.
faces the beach, not Cannonberry Drive, doesn't it? Or am I?
Yeah,
I'm
but
not-
when you've gotten down that far, you're kind of turned a little bit. I mean,
Okay, okay.
so it's
east
a little
is-
confusing.
East
yeah.
does front Cannonberry, front on Cannonberry.
Yeah, so east is actually northeast,
Yes.
relative to the shoreline. Yep.
So is it on the left side of the road then?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Looks like a Royalberry Wills. Do you remember those houses?
Yes, it does. And those are actually nice, but this isn't like the place for those.
Yeah.
Royalberry Wills typically is best on land which, has different grades for different parts of the house. And this is all just flat land. The back is better than the front, I would say.
I can't read the front. I'm sorry.
That's the front.
I like the tartan chimneys.
Yeah, those are nice. A new look, Scottish.
Swish.
I liked the shingled lawn, but
I'm a little confused. Aren't we reviewing 7 Bayberry? The
I
house.
think I think Bayberry is the name of the design. I mean, I think that they have a couple of different models of houses, and this might be the Bayberry cottage design. That's just a guess.
Probably right.
The house that I'm looking at at 7 Bayberry is like that.
This is 30 Cannonberry.
Oh, 30 Cannonberry. Excuse me. All right.
In the same subdivision.
Like, we can't be looking at the same thing here.
They
So-
don't have a Bayberry street down there. I think so. I think it's the name of the cottage design.
Well, I'm going to ask, I think the developers, as I understand, are presenting people with, I don't know how many designs, but possible designs, which maybe is why, yeah, see, it says BFC Bayberry. So this might be one of their, and I assume they are presenting to the buyers that this is one of their approved designs to go on Cannonberry.
No idea.
And if it's the same developer that did the, begins with an H out there on Hummock Pond Road.
Yes, it is.
And a lot of those houses have the combo kind of barn siding and shingles. And so, I mean, looking at this east elevation front, it looks like right over the front door and the next second story, it looks like straight across
So is that clapboard?
cedar siding.
Collaborating, yeah.
Or those the boards. I love that Hummock Pond, and there's no privet there. Not
There will be. There will be, Caroline.
No, there won't.
So,
All the plantings without privet. It's very private. I mean, you know, I just can't read it because
I feel like the plans just aren't coming through. Like there's a lot that's just sort of scanned out and it's hard to see the plans.
Yeah. I agree.
Can we hold this till they're clear pictures?
that will be up to the HDC themselves. They may have the same conditions. Let's take a look at the other ones that they submitted. It might be an issue with the actual applicants. Some of them, in the essence of time too, guys,
Yeah.
we may need to get some comments in via email, if you all wouldn't mind that. See, this one seems
Okay.
better. This one is for 7 Cannonberry. All this stuff in that. See, now this one is actually in color, where the other one was not.
That's the one I was looking at before.
Okay. Yep, very pretty.
But it has a lot of the same specs on it, same pictures,
Right.
same
Yeah.
plot plan. And that whole long thing, number 30, was at the lot number 30 was all the way at the end.
Okay, it's actually like right here, one of those two. I think it's this one.
Okay.
So just because I haven't been with you all since you've looked at, are these the first time you've seen these?
Yes.
Yes.
For new, okay. So I would assume, but I don't really want to assume, that the developer and the architect are going to be asking for packages, if you will, I guess, like the Blueberry or whatever this one's called. Kind of what they did with the other subdivision off of Hummock Pond, I'm assuming. But right, so this is the lot. Oh, I guess this is for the garage, a 1-car garage.
For those other ones modular, I can't remember.
The ones off of Hummock Pond, I don't believe so.
Or stick, okay.
I think they're all, yeah, I think they're all stick built.
The two that went in down in this Cannonberry development last year were modular, but That's
Okay.
just because they chose to do that. They bought the lots and then put their own modulars on them.
They bought them outright, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
All right,
this
so we're,
scan seems to be better.
This is the Eden Rose.
oh, this looks like
Yes.
Blackfish. That looks like a house on Blackfish.
But it's their Eden Rose model.
I see. A little more interesting, actually.
Are we going to discuss this one now?
Um,
Or
What
do
do you
we have
all
to look
wanna-
at the garage application?
yeah, the first one that I showed you was the garage. Yeah, and
Correct.
got historic structures at 1. So, and of course we're over time. I didn't realize we had 15 applications.
Yeah.
So what do you all think? Technically, you've got 2 more properties. No, 3 more properties. 7 Cannonberry, 4 Sleetwing Circle, and 6 Sleetwing Circle. With new house, new garage, new cabana, and pool, and some hardscaping. It seems to be not every single one of them, but that's what you've got. I appreciate you, Caroline, catching the model names, because that's what I'm thinking. They're wanting to have models approved
Right.
or a package to come in and say, hey, we want one of these, and then change as they need to with a particular customer. So I would pay attention to that. But yes, I would respectfully request, if you all wouldn't mind, for these next 7 through 15 on the agenda, to email me comments individually, and I will get them to the commission tonight, because I believe these are on the agenda tonight. Yes. Now, I will give you a caveat. These are at the end of the agenda, and it's going to be a long one. So there's a possibility it will be continued to later in the week, but I wouldn't want to assume that. So just to let you know. So, I'll let
Hi,
you
it's
make a
Rob
decision.
here. Holly, in deference to your schedule, I'm going to ask the other our other members if you're okay with doing that. I mean, am I under the standing that these would come back to us individually
Yeah, and I'm not sure.
once they're, because this is the corporation and setting this out. They are going to start billing them next week. So would each one have to be a new application?
Oh,
And-
yes, absolutely. Yes. They're still going to have to come and submit them, but I think if they're fleshed out packages, if you will, it'll make it easier for them to come through. I think, however they worked it, and again, I'm assuming, because these are the same people that did the subdivision off of Hummock Pond Road.
Right. Okay.
So,
as people buy, so somebody will buy one of the lots and they'll go with a Bayberry thing, and they themselves will have to go through the process again to come to the commission with their design. So what happens tomorrow night is not the final approval for each one of these.
tonight, yes.
It might.
I mean, it might not. But again,
So rumor is that they've sold 7 already.
okay.
This summer alone, and that a number of them were packages that are sold. So I'm assuming that what we're seeing are, this is part of the deal. They're the people who are buying a deal,
Okay.
which is
Possibly.
we get it through the HDC.
Possibly. Yep.
I'm
That's
also-
4 addresses.
Well, this is Clement. I'm also assuming that once someone buys it, they might want to modify the design, and then
Well,
it would
yes.
have to come back through the
Yes.
HDC. But
Yes.
if
Okay.
it's been approved right now, I would guess if you built as is, you would assume that you wouldn't have to go back through the process.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
would, but again, I whether it's on consent or not is you still need HDC approval. I just wanted to make you all mindful that this is the same developer and architect, and that they may be doing that and saying, hey, we're going to have model Bayberry, model Eden Rose on these particular lots. with this package or what have you, come it through, So this is the first go at it is what I'm getting at. And if
Okay.
you have specific comments on them that the commission needs to take into consideration, this would be the time to provide those.
Okay. And this is Rob speaking. Can I get a general consensus from our advisory board to submit our own comments? So we can let Holly move on to her next meeting?
Yeah, that sounds okay with me. It's Clement.
Okay. I know it's time consuming, but Mary,
Yeah,
I guess you okay with that?
I don't think we have time to do anything other than that.
Okay. And Caroline, are you okay with that?
Yeah, it just seems it's the biggest project. I don't understand why wouldn't continue the meeting to a different time and date, since some are unreadable. And I don't know how to comment on that. I just didn't know if it can be rescheduled so that we could look at it as a group. But if not, then I guess we're only left with making comments. It's a big deal, though, I think.
And I agree with you, Caroline. It's a combination of this format that we're in, the fact that the HDC has a Monday night schedule for meeting instead of tomorrow night. This whole Zoom thing is, it's been challenged, as you all are aware, in the whole scheduling aspect. So.
All these things are challenging, but so far the plans have been legible. This is these are hard to read. There's just missing information between the lines that are extra and the lines that are missing. If it could be until next week when we could really look at each application with the useful information, it seems like 3/4 of it is not useful to us, but at least the elevations and floor plans, it needs to be clear when we're looking at it.
I think the first one we looked at was the only one that's not legible, the 30 Canterbury. It looks like all of these are, but again, I will bring that up with the agent for this. Yeah, these are a lot more clear. But that's noted. I completely understand.
Yeah, it would be great if we could have more time to look at these, as opposed to rushing without having the time.
It feels like sort of a blank approval of 5 potential houses, which is a lot. So
it's a lot. And I think, I think we need the developer to come and speak with us to tell us what's the plan and how many designs are there and what are we looking at, and take the time rather than rush us so that they can get what they want.
And I just, Mary, on that point, it's not them that are rushing you. It's me, because we got HSAB at 1:00 and I've got a couple other things I need to do beforehand. It's this format. Obviously if we had more time, we wouldn't be having this discussion. So, but no, duly noted. That's why I wanted to let you know that they are on the agenda tonight for the HDC. However, they have a 4-page agenda tonight. So they might not, they're literally number 41 and 50 on the agenda. Oh yeah, it'll probably be till 9:30 tonight. So there's a possibility that these applications will be held over probably till the 3rd is our next scheduled meeting already, which is Thursday. Okay. Those haven't been long meetings, so I don't even know if they'll get to them. We've got stuff tonight that were held over from a special meeting on Thursday. It's just the sheer magnitude of applications that are coming through, and we're just trying to accommodate everybody. So
just a friendly reminder to all the commissioners, we get notice of these with the view packs on Thursday or Friday. So not something any of us want to do on the weekend, but we have had, a few days to look things over. And most of the time it's not necessary, but in situations like this, if we had been able to go straight to the point with all of us already having looked at it, we probably would have been more productive with our comments. Now, each of us, if we care, are going to have to type it out ourselves. But anyway, thank you, Holly. I know you need to eat before our 1 o'clock meeting anyway.
Okay,
Thank you all.
all right.
Thank you.
Can I make a motion to approve the comments that we've made so far for this particular meeting?
Yes, I'll
Second.
second that.
All in favor? Okay. Carol, I got to do the roll
Yeah.
call. Caroline Ellis.
Yes,
Okay. Mary Lathrop Will.
Yes,
Angus McLeod.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you. Clement Durkes.
yes.
Rob Benchley, aye. It's unanimous. And any other comments before I make a motion to adjourn?
I will see what I can do to extend our, or maybe see what is available for different times, maybe. If you are, right now, we only have an hour for you all. As you know, sometimes you have 2 applications, sometimes you have 15. But, you know, if there's any particular times that work better for you all, I will see what I can do. Can't promise anything. There's other committees that we're having to compete against, so.
Is 10 o'clock an option?
I can look into that.
Most of the time, we don't need that much time, but you know, like
Right.
today, we did not have enough time.
Right.
I can look into that and let you all know via email.
Okay. That'd be great. Thanks. Hate to rush. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you. How does everybody vote? Caroline?
yes.
Thank you. Mary Lathrop?
Yes.
Angus?
Yes.
Clement Durkes?
Yes.
And Fred?
Yeah, he's back there.
Okay, good. Okay, Rob. Okay, it's unanimous, and guess we got a little homework to do. Okay,
Thank you all.
thanks
Thank you.
everybody. Thanks, Holly.